Hello, ladies. I'm so excited to be joined by our beautiful Jackie Jones. You will know her and you will have seen her in my group before, and also around the internet. She's absolutely lovely. And also, Jackie, you used to live in Kinross, so you were local to us, and now you've just moved over to beautiful France.
Yes, I have.
How,
Yep.
how have you settled over there?
Well, we've moved since then,
Yeah, you have, haven't
and
you?
we've moved again. But yeah, we're settling, shall I say? There's a lot to do. But yeah, the tidiest bit of the house is just there. You're not seeing the rest.
I bet it's lovely out there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It just needs spring to be here now, and it'll be
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. So we've come on today, ladies, to talk to you about our nighttime habits, helping us improve our sleep routine and the science behind what we're actually doing to our bodies, which Jackie is going to support us with, because I believe that not only are we getting into really bad habits that are keeping us awake, that I know we feel frustrated with ourselves about, scientifically we are damaging our bodies and we just aren't aware of it, and even if we're aware of it we still take it for granted and we believe that it's never going to happen to us, that kind of attitude, and we just excuse our knowledge, put it to one side, and then we're still scrolling at midnight and we're feeling frustrated and annoyed because we did it again, I did it again, I didn't go to sleep when I wanted to go to sleep, and social media distracted me. So we are going to talk to you about it today, and I'm really excited. It's an amazing topic. And when I've listened to Jackie before talk to me about this, I was just like, I'm going to stop taking my phone to my bedroom.
That's good because you did.
You did tell me off, didn't you? You was like,
I
you've got to
did.
stop
Yeah.
taking your phone to your bedroom, Sam.
Yeah. And it's quite interesting when you start looking at what we call Esmog or electrical pollution and how that really affects your cellular health. And I think most people aren't aware of that impact that it can have. They know it's not good for them, but they don't realise the full impact that that can have on your health, especially if it's in your sleeping environment. I mean, that's something that's so important to keep our sleeping environment as free from technology as possible. But we all need technology. We need to live in the world, don't we? You know, we're all running our businesses online and keeping in contact with people, but we need to balance that and find a balance that's a good habit that we can continue through, that will help us improve our health and also get rid of some of these issues that you're talking about.
Absolutely. So I came to Jackie, when was it, last year or the year before? Just before you moved?
Yeah, last year.
And I have always been an insomnia sufferer. I've shared that with my ladies before. They know that that's always been something I've struggled with. And recently I shared that I suffer with tinnitus as well, which is something that I'm trying to manage. And the psychology behind me actually making that issue worse, because I'm focusing on it, I am actually making the humming louder. And so I've started using my phone in my bedroom again, Jackie, because I'm doing some hypnotherapy around that, and I have it on my phone to play next to my bed to help me fall asleep, because all of a sudden I'm using an app or I'm using a recording that my hypnotherapist sent me, which means my phone is next to my head again. So I need to look at a way of trying to be able to use that technology to calm and to relax me and to help me into a state without linking it to my bed and my sleep. So it could be that perhaps I do that in my chair in the lounge and then I can go to bed and go to sleep or something. I'm going to have to think about that, because I noticed, Jackie, when you told me off, I stopped. This was not in my bedroom, and I had to start charging it somewhere else, like in the kitchen or in the hallway. Um, I felt lighter. I can't describe it. I noticed that there was something missing.
Yeah.
It was like an empty feeling. And then I thought, was this humming and buzzing coming from just Esmog and just knowing that there's technology around you? It made me feel different. I felt different. But I can tell you that was such a hard habit to break, because I was up on my phone, I was doing social media, I was falling down the hole, and it was midnight, it was 1 o'clock, and I didn't break it easily. It was hard. And I know that there are ladies in here who are still frustrated with themselves because they keep doing it. So tell us, Jackie, to help with the motivation to break that habit, I had to know the science of how it's affecting my body. So you
Yeah.
tell us how it destroys us, basically.
Okay, so we're all aware of our cells being really round and plump. Sorry, at the moment I can't bend my hands, so I can't do very good circles. So they're round and they're plump. And when they're like that, your nutrients and your toxins are going in and out of those cells all day long. When you go to bed, that's when your body's repairing. Yeah. And so whilst it's repairing, it needs to be that shape. And what happens is when you turn on, you've got cellular inflammation, the cells sag. So what happens is the toxins and the nutrients get stuck. They can't go in and out like they should be doing. So the body's starting to then struggle to do all these things. The other thing that happens is our cortisone levels, as we know, should be released in the morning. But when your body is under electropollution, it causes stress on the body. So we all know what stress does to the body, don't we? Chucks out that cortisol. And that's what's happening. You're laying there trying to go to sleep. You've got your Wi-Fi on, you've got your phone on, and it's going backwards and forwards across your body. And it's a stress on the body. So the cortisols are then being released at the wrong time of day. That then has huge knock-on effect to our hormones and all of that affecting the body.
Mhm.
So, okay, so what can we do? Because we all need to live with technology. But what you do is you give your body a break. How are you going to do that? Well, one is what I said to you, get that phone out of the bedroom. If you need it on, outside your door. If possible, switch it on to airplane mode. You can still use it as an alarm if it's on airplane mode because you're not being affected by that.
Yeah, because that was the excuse I gave you. I was like, but I use it for my morning alarm, Jackie.
Exactly.
What a bullshit excuse. We still have those old traditional alarms that you can buy on Amazon for a
Yeah,
fiver.
you can. And you can put it the other side of the room,
Yeah.
so it's there. I use my phone as a wake up because it's preset into the phone. You can put your focus on it, can't you? And it does it all for you. Um, so it's not having that damage on your body. The other thing is switch your Wi-Fi off. Now everybody goes, oh, can't survive with Wi-Fi. So when you have your time that you're going to bed, literally switch it off. It will come back on in the morning, I assure you. We all think it won't, and it might take a few minutes to boot up. And at first, BT or whoever might go, you haven't done this, and so it won't, but it soon gets used to your routine that it can't do its updating while you're sleeping, because that's what they do. So all of that is being bombarded all day long, or all night long, should I say.
I hadn't even thought about the amount of updating they do at night time,
Mhm.
Jackie.
That's all done at night. So when you
Mm.
turn, that's why it takes a few minutes when you turn it on, because they've suddenly got to do all their updates. But eventually you get used to it. The kids will complain. I can guarantee you, mine did. But they soon realise that actually, no, when mum and dad go to bed, it goes off
Mhm.
and you will sleep better. It really does have a huge change on you in that sense. It will make an impact on it. And it did on our family. And we did it obviously for health reasons. And I know I've gone into this before, but, our oldest one was very, very sick. But making those few changes really helped benefit her life. And the other thing is things like, so think about, that's just your sleeping environment. So if you can take anything that's electrical out of your environment, because like you said, that noise is dirty electricity. So you can hear that. There's always the special things you can buy that can clip on to plugs. Like you see on the computer, you get those little chunky blocks at the
Mm.
back. Well, that's so that it sends the dirty electricity away. So there's some things that you can also do in your sleeping environment. But if there's one thing you do is when you're not using your phone and you don't need it on, put it on airplane mode as much as possible. Um, and set a time when you turn the Wi-Fi off at night when you're going to bed. And that will just give you those few things to help your body to repair like it should be doing. And because otherwise it's like an antenna, it's just going in and out through the body all night long.
Mm.
And that's why we don't sleep. And that's what creates headaches, brain fog, and all of those things. But there's a lot more to the mobile phone. But I don't know if you do this, and if you do, I'm going to tell you off. Do you put it in your bra?
Now, I used to, but I remember we had this conversation and I haven't done it since, Jackie.
Good.
I used to
Because,
literally just because,
yeah,
you go, because I got hands free, go pick up a cup of tea, multitasking, and I used to just sit it there. And then we
when
had
you've
this
got
chat,
that,
and it terrified me. And I just thought, you idiot, like, what are you doing?
yeah,
What are you doing?
because it's got an aerial. And
Mm,
now we're on beamforming, so it's very different. Whereas before it would send it out in waves, this just tracks your phone wherever it goes, so it's a constant beam. So if your phone's there, you've got a constant beam of radiation going on. And if you look, there's some links that we've spoken about before. That's where a lot of women ends up with tumours, because that's where they're putting their phone and that's where the antenna is, and it's intensified on that area. And same goes for men in their pockets.
mhm.
So it's really important.
I think, I spoke about this in another group this morning about our intention with social media, because really, let's be honest, it's the social media that's keeping you attached and glued to your phone. It's the constant reinforcement back to our ego. And a lot of people, when we talk about our egos, they push back because they're not. I'm not an egotistical person. It's not about being egotistical. It's just reinforcing a behavior, and it feeds into our cycle of validation and existence and need for connection with humans. It doesn't mean we're an egotistical person, but it's the constant dots and, oh look, there's notification, oh look, there's something, and it distracts you and it keeps you there on that platform. Because if I didn't have any apps on my phone and it was just a case of texting and phone calls, I'd never use it because no one ever calls me. Like, is that not true for you? Like, seriously, no one calls me anymore. It is
Yeah,
all
yeah,
online. So it is our apps, and we can take personal responsibility, go into those apps and shut our notifications off. That was also something I had to do, Jackie, to help me with my social media use, was I had to turn my notifications off, and we can control that.
yeah. You have to, because otherwise you could be, and even sometimes you might be on your computer doing something totally different, and you got ping, 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 ping going off,
Mm,
and it's distracting you, so you can't focus on what you need to do. So if we want to accomplish tasks as well, it's important to have those notifications turned off,
mhm.
and take a break from social media, because I know, and I go back from this from my children's experience, that we go by likes and things on Facebook, and then we think that people don't like us
Mm,
because they didn't like my post, and they didn't like this, or they didn't like that, or they're doing this and I'm not doing this. So it's a dangerous place as well.
mm.
So if we can try and cut some of that effect down on the body by switching our phones onto airplane mode, we're not only helping ourselves physically, but also helping ourselves mentally as well. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely. And even like, just I've moved my platform over the weekend, as you know, and
Mm,
as everybody in here knows, my group is now not on Facebook, it's on my website, because I'm keeping people on the platform as well by doing what I was doing. And I didn't feel aligned with that anymore. And also for safety reasons, for women knowing that, oh gosh, is this her page? Is this the public bit? Is this the private bit? I want to share and ask questions, but it's just creating another layer of safety for women who really want to talk about the issues that they're struggling with, and keeping them off the place that's causing and
yeah,
feeding the issue.
feeding it.
So,
Yeah.
it'll take time. It's a new habit. It's learning how to go to a different place. It isn't always as technically smooth as something as like a big giant of Facebook. It's something that I'm building myself. There are gonna be problems, right? I'm learning the tech as I go along.
No. We've learned a
Um,
lot in a few years.
I know, and it's like even now I want to do a live stream, but I have to learn how to do all of that.
Yeah,
Um, the point is, there are things that we can do for ourselves to help make it easier.
definitely. And I think so. Some of my top tips would be really starting, if we're looking at electro pollution, for a start off, planes on airplane mode when you go to bed, charge them outside of your room. Get yourself a wind up alarm clock if you can. If you can't stand the tick, I get that, because I can't stand them either. So you can use your phone, but put it as far away as possible that you can hear it, but it's far away enough that it's not sort of right next to your pillow. You know, it can be a meter away. Yeah. Try that, and don't put it in your bra, please. You know, that if anything, that airplane mode and that, because there's a study of a family which I was talking to you about earlier. I don't know if we've got enough time to cover that, but dad was 43, mum was 40, Ben was age 10, Matilda's age 6, and Snoopy the dog was age 4. Now, Snoopy wouldn't sleep at all in his bed, and he wandered around all night long. Ben didn't sleep, very restlessly, was struggling with learning at school, lots of digestive issues. Matilda was really moody, and she wouldn't sleep. Mum was suffering with joint pains, was really struggling with life in general. And dad was, you know, headaches, digestive issues, etc. And when they did the test on them, they obviously, you remember me talking about my wacky ornament, so they implemented this because there was a lot more wrong with the house as well, geopathically. But by the time they'd done all these changes, oh, the other thing, Matilda bedwetted. They did this implementation, and Matilda stopped after one day and never wet the bed again since. Her mood, she'd become a much nicer person. She wasn't so moody. Ben was then, could concentrate better at school, slept well, in fact slept through the night, and all his stomach issues went away. The dog went to bed and he went to sleep, and he stayed in his bed. He didn't wander around any night or anymore at the night. Dad, his headaches went away. His digestive issues that he was having because he was stressed all went away, and he felt he could cope with life much better. And mum, all her joint pains and things went away. In fact, life just in quality improved drastically. So that's just making a few changes. And yes, they had some other issues as well. But like you found, if you switch the Wi-Fi off, one, you'll sleep better. Two, a lot of headaches are caused by it. I mean, I know people that sleep with their phone under their pillow with it on. But you've got radiation going through your head. No wonder you get a headache.
My partner did that until I said, no, not in my house. He's not allowed to anymore, but he did that. He slept with it under his pillow.
Yeah, so many do, and they don't realise. And if you look up Dr. Deborah Davis, in fact, maybe I'll give you the link, Sam, and you can pop that in for everybody to have a look at. She shows you a 3D module of children with mobile phones and adults. But on an adult, it gets to about here. On a child, it gets through to here. Wow. On a mobile phone. Yeah, so it's so important. Hands-free. Use your speaker mode, or get these headphones I've got are radiation-free headphones. So they've got a clear tube in there, which I'll go get back on there. Which stops the radiation or from the computer, from the phone, getting to your head. Because a lot of people don't think about that.
Send me the link to those, because I'm going to be doing my podcast and YouTube and things like this, and I'm going to need them. I've been searching for a new set of headphones, Jackie.
Right.
I'm so glad I haven't bought any yet. So please send me the link, because
I will do. So they're on Amazon, but they range from £5. It depends on what quality you want. I mean, I paid a £5 from these. I think they're from China. But that's another story. But you can pay about £20-30 from them, depending on the quality of sound that we want. I mean, when I bought these, we wasn't online like we are now. But yeah, so it's important. Little things like that, little changes really make a huge difference, because when people are on their phone all the time, you imagine the effects that that's doing. And then you can see the dangers that may occur from that. Not everybody, admittedly, but a lot of people are struggling, especially now because we're on here so much, are starting to get bigger and bigger effects, and behavioural problems is one of them. The other thing is, just as a thought for children, don't let them on their little games just before bed, because they're Wi-Fi. They're on this little PlayStation and they've got Wi-Fi. They used to be wired, didn't they? But they're all hands-free now. So they're all, Wi-Fi. So your child's going to bed like, woohoo, and he's all wound up. So you
Yeah.
need to give him that, like we used to, that switch down time. Because we never, let's face it, when we grew up, we weren't on computer games at that time of night.
No.
They weren't out.
Mm.
You tell you for children's finished at 5 o'clock, didn't it?
And Thomas
Well, it
does
did when I was.
he loves Minecraft. He's on it, not loads, but yeah, a lot. And I have to tell him that it's dinner time now. That's it. And now we go back to just the telly. Like I have to find another thing to do so that he can come off the thing, because otherwise I can see that he's going to fall down the same trap and habits. And he's 6 years old.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Jackie, for coming on today
All
and
right.
sharing those amazing tips. And I think it does help our motivation when we know the science behind it. So anybody listening that has struggled with these things, try and put a couple of these things into practice. And the thing is, at the end of the day, we have to take radical self-responsibility, because there are things that we can do, but are we? We need to get real with ourselves. How exposed are we to this technology? How is it affecting us and impacting us? What are our symptoms? What's 1 or 2 things that you can do? And with habit breaking, please just pick 1 or 2 at a time. Don't then think, right, I'm going to do all of the things that Jackie said, because you'll do it for a day and then you won't do it. One thing at a time until you nail it, and then move on to the next.
Yeah.
So which one for you, Jackie? If you wanted to tell ladies in our group today to just focus on one change until they've nailed that, which one would you pick?
Mine would be when you go to bed, airplane mode.
Excellent.
I'll tell you what I've got a PDF with the top, all of them listed. If you want, I'll send it to you and then you can share it with them for those that, because it's quite a good, just a little reminder that you can keep on your phone or you can print off and stick on your fridge. Just a reminder of why we should cut down certain things.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Jackie. And I put a link into your business in our group yesterday, but I'll do it again with this video.
Thank you.
It's BioResin 8.
Yes.
And it's been lovely. So thank you for coming on today. And you are going to come and visit us again, aren't you?
Oh, yes, we are. Be
Yeah.
back here next month.
Thanks, Jackie. Thanks, ladies.
All right, then. Take care. Bye.